Hope you're having a good day. This is a Premna Microphylla. It's the only one I've got. Starting to wish maybe I had some more. I almost bought one with a good thick trunk on it the other day on from a clearance section. The problem was, for me, it was a little bit too big in that it was heavy to handle and everything. And while I am trying to maybe look to invest a little more in some more quality trees to start with, it was just a little bit bigger than I was really interested in. And, you know, it was on the clearance section and it was looking a little unhealthy. And I don't have that much experience with them. So maybe I'm not the one to bring a Premna back to health. But I can always keep my eye out for more like that in the future. Maybe something a little bit smaller. And also after I have a little more experience, you know, knowing how to raise them a little bit better. The second year I had it, which would have been like 2022, I guess, I actually did two videos on it, like an early spring video and then a late fall video. Was kind of getting the idea that maybe I was working some of my trees a little bit too often. Just kind of doing it because I felt like making a video or something. So I decided to let it go. Probably shouldn't let it go this long. Probably should have hit it in the fall this year. But you can see now it's extremely leggy. I have noticed over the last few days. See if I can give you a look at one of them. Right along one of this thicker branch up here. You guys should be able to see all those little buds there. They're all over the tree, a little more on the thicker limbs than on the really small ones. But I figure about now, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it way back. Cut it way back, just mainly just trying to get the legginess back. But also, I'm going to try to knock out, this thing does have a tendency to twist on top of itself. I like the way I have it kind of twisting. I think I talked about it a little bit, trying to make it a twisting apex as it comes up on the last video. This lower branch almost has the appearance of like maybe I'm trying to use it as a sacrifice. But what I've been trying to do, you know, each branch only thickens up anything below it, and that's the idea of a sacrifice branch, is thickening up the trunk below it. But I'm trying to get it to where it can start just treeing up a little bit more. This long, I got it because it had some initial movement almost right out of the substrate. But this long shoot here has absolutely no taper. And it still kind of just looks like a shoot. It doesn't really look like it's trunked up like from there below has. And it's kind of stayed that way. I have noticed it's gotten noticeably larger. But just not any, you know, not changing colors and not getting any true signs of age or anything like that. I think my plan was to go ahead and just start at the bottom, work my way up on this guy. This branch has basically two big sub branches on it. And then the one kind of coming a little straight off the tree is actually kind of growing into the other one here. And I'm just going to cut off the part that's overlapping. And then, like I said, just kind of take the leggy this way back. And then you guys have probably noticed this one just comes from across the other side here. Basically wrapped around the tree like that, but that is one of the lower limbs. I'm not going to take it off, I'm going to take it halfway back. Alright, considering I've never wired it up and I've only had it a couple years, it's pre-bonsai. Does have some pretty good ramification on it. All right, it has been 1 month since I did that initial prune. Right now what I'm doing is just going around, getting a couple of crossing branches I didn't notice before. And also some of the little twigs kind of sticking out that don't have any green buds on them. All right, imagine it, how big those leaves were at the beginning of the video there. But I'm gonna take this opportunity early in the spring. Kind of wish maybe I would have done this maybe a week ago, right after it started budding out. But I'm gonna start a little transition into some bonsai soil with it. I just repotted a water jasmine and didn't realize just how dense the soil was that was in it. And I've actually had this for about 6 months longer. And it's, you know, still in that same pre-bonsai stuff. And even though it's not like all the way packed full of roots, it really is quite dense too. It's been a couple days since I watered it. It's still wet. Got a decent root ball. All right, I'm gonna prune off a couple of these long ones and go ahead and just get it in some better substrate. Really don't think I need to get too out of pocket with it right now. Still small enough and not developed enough to where I really want to expose much of the nabari or anything like that. Like I said, just to start to the transition to some better substrate. All right, I'm gonna get it right back into the pot it was in. Straighten out a couple of these crossing roots, although again, not really trying to expose much of that nabari right now, but it would, that one was crossing way over. At one point, this thing had 2 branches coming out of the same point. I was trying to leave them both there to build some taper, and I just kind of realized that with those being bar branches, I'd cut off the one. You can see where they were. I chopped it. It's actually healing up pretty nicely, considering I haven't really paid any attention to it or tried to aid it along. But I would like, this branch was kind of almost growing downwards, and I would like to get it at a little bit of a better angle. And I think something like that is going to work. Alright, I think the plan will be just let this guy recover spring and summer. Probably come back in the early fall. I'm sure it'll grow out and have some huge leaves again by then, and just give it a light prune. Really excited for this guy.